welcome to the Friendly Jimmy's podcast, surprise podcast today. We've got a very special guest.
Miss Love.
Performing on Saturday, guys. I will be doing my first improvised show. It's called A Lot of Fuss About Nothing. It's about the cabbage industry.
Damn, that is a very niche show. Somebody who makes nothing but niche shows. What's yours? What is your show?
Let's introduce him.
No, that's
No.
Keep it low key. Keep it low key.
We've got to introduce him.
All right.
We've got Fergus Neal with us in the studio.
Yes.
Thanks, Fergus, for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Geordie's Universe.
Fresh off the flight from Melbourne.
He's a
red
great
flag.
comic from Melbourne who is performing this Saturday at the ID Comedy Club. If you
know what
check
that
it
is?
out. You know, 'cause I honestly didn't know where that club. Have you been?
It's
to that
you've
club?
done
Oh,
shows
yeah.
there, Jordan. Yeah, it's like Skinner's.
Oh, sick.
You've done the self-help shows there. Is that right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a nice room.
Wait, not the one in Oxford Street.
Yeah.
You're going
Oh,
there.
yeah,
That's a
that one.
sick.
I sent you the address. Miss Love's coming.
You know, I-
Miss Love is so shit, by the way, Fergus. Just I want to tell you this. He organized the whole meetup with you.
Yeah.
I'm about to drive to come here. Jordan calls me randomly, and he's saying, because we're supposed to go to Bathurst tomorrow. So he was saying, hey, do you want to meet up at the studio in the morning? And I was like, what do you mean meet up? Aren't you there already? He was like, no, I'm at home. You never freaking told Jordan that you're coming.
Oh, this is a surprise pod.
I told him on Tuesday,
It's a
right?
surprise pod for Jordan as well.
An ambush podcast is the most fun.
I forget that he's literally an infant. It's just like, remember, this
literally
minute,
an infant. Come on.
I
It
told
would be
you
nice to know.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, did you?
That's not good enough?
Was I on my laptop at the time? That's so good.
Possibly.
Well, I tried.
I tried.
Walks out.
That's,
All right.
I did my best.
When Jordan came to do my podcast, it seemed like you didn't know that you were coming to my
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know I was going to Melbourne.
There's a common denominator
Miss
here.
told me you're going to Ballarat as well, so there are a few dots that are not connecting.
Yeah.
But you guys always pull it off.
Pull what off?
Like getting
Going
to places.
places.
Yeah,
We wing
succeeding
it.
in life.
Yeah.
How many
Goals.
times have both of you have failed? I'm pretty good at this. So I'll make sure that he comes in early. But how many times have you actually just failed?
What do you, in my life?
How many flights have you missed
In my life?
with Jordan?
None.
0.
It's pretty good.
He's nearly missed 3 and should have absolutely missed 3.
I think more like 1. We've nearly missed 1. I don't know we get 3.
Okay, all right.
I think 1.
Yeah.
There was
All
one
right.
that was.
This is
made
when you
yourself
wanted to
feel
get
good about
coffee, right? This is the.
Yeah, there was one that was really tight.
Yeah, I've done
And
that.
Tight. See, look at
That
the
was-
euphemisms he's using.
well, that's a common use of the word in explaining the situation. I think you would agree, Fergus. Yeah, there was one time I remember that was very tight, and
And he made it tighter.
But
That's the worst part.
it was a great image that Jordan explained. When we made at that point we'd made it, but then I was like, I'm gonna get a coffee, and it was like power walking with like 2 sandwiches and a coffee, be like, like walking towards the.
I would
walking.
appreciate it if you were power walking. You were waddling.
That was power
You were
walking.
power waddling.
Power waddling.
That's what
Okay,
you were doing.
fair enough. Power
You're going as
waddling.
fast as a duck could go, but nowhere near as fast as like human legs should be able to carry you. But that's So no,
that's some good
we're not an
times.
organised operation at all.
I've never
You're an
seen
organised man.
I'm all right. I mean, like compared to you two, I think that
We suck. We really suck.
do you get recognized when you're on your shenanigans? Like when you're on your Geordie's Universe side quests? Do people go, oh shit, it's Friendly Geordies?
Yeah,
yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
When you're at the airport being like, hurry the fuck up.
No, it's usually me holding it back. It's not the fans. But you do get a cup. Yeah, he gets some
Yeah.
love.
The worst
Yeah.
one is when you're in line waiting to go through the bag check and you're going through the taped area and someone goes, hey, Geordie's big fan. You're like, thanks, mate. And inevitably you have to see them 6 times after
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
That
Or
is-
the classic is, flying to somewhere like Perth and you get a fully fledged conspiracy theorist being
That's the
like,
best.
have you checked out like floating cities or some shit? And we're like, we will. And then you're like in line with them for another like half an hour. They're like, what about floating towns? You're like, I'll just Google the word floating. All right. How's that?
Because I get that as well. I get conspiracy theorists. So I imagine you must get it like 1,000 times. They're like, hey, take a look at this. I've just
Take a
got
look
my
at this.
message requests are crazy.
I'll do you one better. You know what I did? Like the real idiot, right? We're in Perth. I somehow just end up giving my number out because they'll give me a number. I'm like, okay. And now, you know, he's probably watching. So God bless you, fella. That's fine. God bless you, fella. But dude, yeah, this guy's sending me like his life story on the daily, and I messaged him. I was like, man, listen, I don't respond to my mum that diligently. That's probably not going to happen to you. He's like, it's fine. I'll just keep messaging you stuff about the army. I'm like, okay, but if you are listening, man.
You're
stop,
very
stop.
interested.
Just stop.
Oh, okay,
stop,
right.
stop.
But it's
Yeah,
sad. I've been there as well. They just want to be your friend.
I know, but like I'm like a 34-year-old man. I'm not friends with anyone.
I know, and you're also not going to become friends with a complete stranger.
From Perth.
Look, buddy, I don't
how
like
do you,
myself.
how do you break
let
it to
alone
them?
you.
Well,
They've spent like hundreds of hours with you, Miss Love.
I love them all. It's just that my
You don't.
personal phone number is like, I don't like messaging, dude. Messaging sucks. I'd rather call me, buddy. You got my number? Give me a call. I'll talk to you once a week about the army. How's that?
Well, I know people who get pazzed out about seeing Miss when they see Miss with Geordie. They go, "Oh shit, I saw Miss Love." Like
No.
you're almost like, yeah, you're like a surprise. You're like a surprise perk of the Geordie's universe in real life.
Someone's been
you agree?
Seeing Mew in Pokemon.
No. That's not. That never. Someone's been spiking your Melbourne Greek goods with like trips to see. You're tripping hard.
Hey,
dude.
Miss, has this ever happened to you? This happens to me. It's happened to me a fair few times now, where someone will come up and say, "I'm a massive fan of the podcast.
Right.
Love everything that you do," and just right at the end go, "Miss Love, it was so great to meet you. Finally."
To you?
Is that
No, that's never.
We always forget, this is an audio medium.
Wait, Ali. That's never happened. But you know what happened? It's always Perth. All the fucking. You know what happened in
Yeah,
Perth?
Perth's a weird city.
How's this in Perth? Last time we went, this guy was just like, he comes up to me and he goes like, Christo. And I'm like, no, that I'm not Christo. And it's just like, okay. Proceeds to call me Christo for like 10 more times. Like he's leaving the place. Like, see you, Christo. See you, mate. I'm just like, see you, buddy.
Getting dragged out by security.
Yeah, you know the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, well aware.
Fergus, does this happen with you often? Do you get misidentified?
I mean, I don't really get misidentified. I got a junkie on the train the other day, and he was yelling at me, and he was yelling like 2 syllables. So like instead of saying Fergus, he's like Fergus. So I just thought I knew him personally. You know, I'm like I know that guy.
That's
but then,
awesome.
yeah, sometimes people say they stole from Woolies because I accidentally said that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that became a thing.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
We're
that.
going to get into your
Yeah.
history. Look, if I may start.
Yeah, of course.
Fergus, you've interviewed
Funny
some
man.
very colorful characters in your day. What was the best interview?
I reckon the best interview is the one that didn't come about, and that was with Cory Worthington.
Oh, my God, what a tragedy.
I was talking to Miss about this before. Wait, you guys, he's a dude, he inspired the movie Project X.
What?
He threw that house party in Narre Warren. That
I
got
didn't even
shut
know that
down.
was a movie, but yeah, I'm well aware of the man.
You
not
guys
of the
must
myth.
know that movie because you guys are like 6 years older than me, I
Yeah.
reckon.
Oh, shit.
2012, Project X came out. That was
Yeah.
a huge like party movie.
Okay.
And so
Right.
Cory Worthington threw a party that inspired, and he was on a current affair, and
Yeah.
they're like, take the sunglasses off and apologize. And he's like, I'll apologize, but I ain't
not
taking
gonna
off
take
the
this-
fucking sunglasses.
Yeah, dude, he was a boss.
He was.
Even then, I remember
Yeah.
just going like, boss.
Yeah, me too. I remember like waking up for. No, it wasn't school, but I remember watching him being like, "There's a legend right there."
Yeah, but if you remember at the time, the media, all of mainstream media was
Yeah.
just bashing on him.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like he was the Bondi Staffer. Like it was, but he just threw a lit party. Sorry.
Yeah,
He was the last guy to go viral on TV before the internet came. Because that was like
Yes.
2007, 6.
Oh, so it was high school then?
Yeah.
Really? For us.
Yeah.
No, dude, was it
I
2007?
think it was I mean, give it a Google. I reckon it was
I think it was
2007.
2012 or 13.
No, I reckon earlier.
I reckon it was
Yeah.
2007 because I swear I was in school.
But he lives in my home city, Geelong, now. And
You're from Geelong?
Yeah, baby.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Go. Actually, fuck the cats. but-
Wait, first
Yeah,
of
fuck the
all-
cats.
First of all, just I Google Cory Worthington, and his occupation is entrepreneur.
Hey. How else would you describe?
Invention.
It's entrepreneur.
So good.
Dude, that
You
is.
can see me on a current affair and Shark Tank.
Don't you reckon
I call
entrepreneur?
it sunglasses.
Don't you reckon entrepreneur is like the next level up from homeless? Because like, you know, it's just like there's such a fucking vast spectrum of entrepreneur. It's like Thomas Edison and
Cory Worthington.
Nah, Cory, I love you, bro. If you're listening.
Sorry,
Cory.
Sorry, dude, we love
The
you
last
too.
message Cory sent to me was like, stop fucking talking about me. I'm like, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Okay, first of
His
all.
fuse, he's got a small fuse.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
And he listens.
Is he a real estate agent now?
That man
Nah,
is a
he was on that Ninja. He was on Ninja Warrior. He was on Ninja Warrior.
I thought he was a fucking
Yeah.
real estate agent, dude.
Well, we met in Geelong. We
No, that's hot dogs, maybe.
We couldn't take no hot dogs. Hot dogs hosted K Rock on Geelong Breakfast Radio.
He's
no,
from Geelong.
no,
Yeah.
he did not.
He did.
How long?
95.5. Probably from me year 8 to year 11.
Oh my god.
A long, successful reign.
Hot dogs is a real estate
Too
agent
soon.
now.
Is he?
I'm telling you, he's a real. Where's a phone? Give me a phone.
Why do you know that? How are you keeping abreast and,
No, this
and
is the-
remembering a man called...
I
Right, it's
reckon,
every
like-
time you go to Adelaide and you see Moe's at the service station. That's what's happening.
What do you mean?
Well, like, how do you remember hot dogs?
I just.
The Great Australiana is the best Australiana.
He was the best, dude.
Yeah, and it's so sad that there's no such thing as that anymore. That's what I'm
I
upset
know,
about.
it's sad.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
all shadow figments of our
I
imagination.
know.
I guess Married at
But
First
this
Sight
Cory
stars.
story isn't a shadow. I want to know.
Yeah, let's hear
this.
it. Let's hear it.
So you said you met him in Geelong.
Yeah, so we had one meeting, and then we're gonna team up. Like, hey, let's do like a podcast.
Wait, did he know you, or you introduced yourself?
So
as-
we both followed each other on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
He's got a great Instagram account. If you're listening, it's partyboyworthington_C. It's horrifically hard to find. But when you do find it, there's a treasure chest there.
he did that intentionally for the goal.
I think so. He did the best influencer collab where it's him wearing runners and he's in like a rock climbing gym and he's to camera and he sprints 10 meters away and then sprints 10 meters back and goes, I wear Skechers. Or just says the shoe brand.
Yeah.
And then the camera cut. So he's doing brand deals. He's doing all right.
Dude, he
Wow.
was
I guess
meant
he is
for
an
the
entrepreneur.
internet.
He's an entrepreneur. That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, but like that guy was meant for the internet.
Yeah.
He would be the highest paid Twitch streamer if he was just doing those shenanigans.
Well, I
online.
said that to him. I'm like, you're untapped. Like, people want to know what you're doing, and you're just chilling out in Geelong in a paddock. Like, you should be on a screen. And he's like, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Really?
Yeah, he said like he's making a documentary about himself.
Oh my god.
And I was like, can I be involved? I was just like, whatever this is, I just
Yeah.
want to be near it.
Yeah, dude.
I just want to be next to it. I don't care how much
Executive
money I'll
producer.
lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why didn't the interview happen?
Well, again, and I say this with all love to Cory, he's got a short fuse. I think he would be the first to say that. And he's probably going to comment on this video, Fergus Neal, I will come and kill you.
Is he from Melbourne?
So he's
Geelong?
from Melbourne, but he moved to Geelong. But
Oh,
he
yeah,
parties
yeah.
hard
Of
in
course he
Geelong.
says it.
Because my friends who went to...
He's still going hard.
my high
The
school friends in
entrepreneur
Geelong are
you're saying
like...
is doing rapidly successful.
He's shaving money. He's entrepreneur and good at finance.
That's Geelong nightlife right now. It's like Cory Worthington and Billy Brownless, who's a former AFL footy player, just tearing it up.
Nice.
You guys, if you're ever in
Melbourne's
Melbourne, I'll
so
take you for a night there and we'll
Geelong.
In
try not to
Geelong?
get king hit by Cory Worthington.
sick. I'd love to have a night out in Geelong.
It's so much fun. It's kind of what Australia was in 2012. There were like actual...
We've been there a few times. I've been down to that.
You would've done
big
shows.
jetty.
No, yeah, no. I'm
The
well aware.
Sphinx.
I love
Did you do
the
shows
Sphinx.
in the Sphinx?
Yes, the
I
Sphinx.
That's
don't
the
know how
best-
that place exists.
Is that in Geelong?
There were
Yeah.
there were 4 Lebanese brothers in Geelong, famous Geelong story, and they wanted to open up a pub. And one of them said, why don't we make it in the shape of the Sphinx? And they did it expertly and with precision.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Winning idea.
This place is.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why it's such a strange thing to see, because everything else around Geelong is Geelong. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of broken down factories with windows of people that have clearly thrown rocks through them. That's all of it. And then right in the centre, you just have an ode to Tutankhamun for no reason.
Yeah, it was definitely not right in the center.
Yeah, well, hey, the heartland, all right?
What I remember about Geelong was that it felt like Melbourne's Newcastle.
It
but
is. It is.
It is.
way less bogans.
Ooh, I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
say that.
I wouldn't
Darren
say
Lyons
that.
was our
I'd
mayor.
say that there's more art there for some reason.
Oh, just because
Yeah.
it's close to Melbourne.
And a lot more haunted houses. Huh?
Haunted houses. Why? Isn't it an old?
I don't know. There's this suburb that I went past, and every single house looks like the house that they use in Goosebumps of the family that moves in. Every single one of them.
Is it a more haunting place?
Well, like, I reckon a good cultural pulse is that we elected Darren Lyons to mayor, who was the paparazzi who was in the tunnel with Princess Di.
The guy with the fake
He's got a fake six-pack.
Fuck, dude.
Yes, he's fat and he's got a fake six-pack.
How does one have a fake? Wait, let me note. How does one have a fake six-pack?
Trust me, Ali, you don't want to.
don't wanna
You can get it cosmetically.
It's like less sexy than being obese.
Oh, is it just like
It's
when you take a
implants.
marker and just make like
Yeah,
lines
it's
across?
implants. It looks sick. And he was on Celebrity Big Brother. He won Celebrity Big Brother.
handle it. It's the most
and a
fun
pink
thing.
mohawk.
Yes. And then we elected him to mayor.
That is horrible.
And then
that is
it was kind of
horrifying.
like, it was Trump-esque. Like the local courts were trying to take him down for embezzling money. And then he just, he disappeared. No longer mayor.
Dude, Australians don't take politics seriously at all. Do they?
I think Dan Andrews got rid of it.
Regional areas don't
No, it's
take
just
politics
it's-
seriously.
It's Big Brother for them. They're just voting on who's gonna stir up the most shit.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, not this. I would say that's relegated to the sister cities.
Yeah,
That's a really good way of
Newcastle,
looking at it. I really give me this, because I've always been thinking this. Why are all the satellite cities next to the main city so fucked?
That's a really good question.
Why is that the case?
Yeah, why is that?
Because when
no
you can't
offense, by the way.
afford
We
Melbourne
are,
because when you can't afford Melbourne or Sydney, you're just like, well, let's just move to the next place.
It's just like,
So the second tier, of which I was there, because we were born in Melbourne, and Dad's like, well, all right, we're fucking going to Geelong.
Pull the Cory Worthington, eh?
yeah.
And then you get, like, I got to a school in Geelong, and you're just like, you notice the drop. You're just like, oh, shit. Oh, no.
Geelong's like, Melbourne isn't sending their best. they're all thieves. Some, I assume, are good people.
Well, I got to Geelong when the Ford factory closed, like Target closed, all these places
Good
were closing.
times,
And
good
we moved
times.
in when the economy was like on fire. But it was all right. My
It's
dad was a
sad.
gardener, and there's always plants. That's
Yeah, man.
that's something that he actually said one to me. He's like, there's always plants.
Jesus.
Kind of true. If you think
People
about
that
it.
can't afford to keep the plants. It's not like it's not at the top of people's priorities.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but there's always a garden. If you think about every Australian city, there's always gardens.
That's true.
Oh, all right.
There's
so
always
he's getting
parks.
those sweet government contracts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
No,
hope
that
so.
makes a lot of sense. That is a genius business move.
No, my mom used to say the same thing. She used to say, become a pediatrician. There's always going to be babies. And I was like,
Whoa.
do you know how hard it is
What
to
is it?
become
What
a
is it?
doctor?
Oh, what is
It's
a
like a kid
pediatrician?
doctor.
Like giving
And
birth.
also, yeah.
Like
No, like straight up, go to like school for 20 years, become like, just because our tip
So you
was.
face a life of looking at kids with cancer in the eye and saying, "You got 3 months." And they just say, what the fuck?
and that was your mum's suggestion on a whim. Just
Yeah, on a whim. It's like, you know, how invest in Bunnings, you know, it's like, there's always a demand for it. She was like,
Yeah.
become a pediatrician.
20 years of your life. And it's hard.
That's classic parent advice, though. Like, they become economists. And they're like, well, there are babies. Therefore, if you work with babies, you
It's
will always
true.
have work.
Yeah,
true.
You know, they can't see comedy. You know what I mean? They can't see things like music. They want
No,
you to
dude.
do shit they can see.
Dude, ethnic parents,
No, they're
for
right
them,
about that.
they don't see anything aside from like your standard jobs, like accountant, whatever,
And if you're a loser
Until-
engineer,
until the money starts coming.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
As soon as there's even like a little bit of money, then they're fine with it. But before that, they will throw you out of the house for like, you know, deciding
Daring.
to have extracurricular activities. And I
I mean, my parents still don't know what I do. I wouldn't say I make.
don't
bank,
think you
but-
know what you do, Miss Love. I'm going to be honest.
I told you, I organize podcasts.
You do a shit
Expertly.
job at it too today.
What do you say on? Are you in a relationship now?
No.
What do you say on dates when like you? Because I reckon that's the big one. Like when people ask what you do on a date,
What
you
do I
say is-
say on dates?
Yeah.
Oh, it's always a nightmare. It's always like, if anyone asks me, what do you do for work? Even like Uber drivers, it's like, the roll off is just like, I have a strange job. I work for my friend who's a YouTuber. And they go, oh, and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I write, I tour with him. And then they go, ah. And they look at me like I'm the biggest genius in the world. It's insane. I could say I'm a brain doctor and I'd be like, but I'm just like, all right, fart jokes. I'm like, very clever, man. Very
Next time,
smart.
just say I'm one argument away from sitting in your seat.
Damn, that is good. Always on the knife's edge. Yeah. It's true. That's true. There's another little insight into this organisation.
The coercion.
Hey,
The coercion of the Geordies universe.
yeah,
Free Miss Love. Soon people are going to be like, free Miss Love.
free me. Listen,
Because this is your job description. I went to high school with Jordan.
yeah.
No, that's his skills on his resume.
Oh, sorry, that's a skill.
Yeah, it's not the job
It's
description.
complete
It's
nepotism. He's right.
experience.
Yeah.
Was in maths class.
No, dude. Yeah. No, my he's totally right. It's like my description is like was like third funniest in fucking Newtown performing arts.
What do you think about this kind of nepotism, Fergus? Are you pro nepotism like this?
You have to use nepotism, especially
Jobs
you
for the
guys went
boys?
to public schools. You need to use nepotism. Don't reckon we in Australia? There's such a private school nepotism. We need to cultivate a fucking public school
Yeah, dude.
network.
I like
of. We wouldn't succeed.
Oh, we have that, but
it's
it's
gonna
for
be
jobs
massive.
at Leakerland. It's
That's what I mean.
but it's a network.
That's what
We've
I
got our
mean.
own network.
Like
All right, jobs for the boys.
If my life went
but
to,
it's just the boys in a Facebook group chat.
if my life went to shit, like my friend Chris, who works at the BP outside of Geelong, could save my life. And I'm not saying that's a bad job, but I'm saying I do see my friends in weird
Nah,
places.
you can say it.
Well, I'm
You can-
seeing
you can say it's a bad job.
I don't like seeing like friends from high school in transitory locations. You know what I mean?
Like Geelong.
Yeah, like you're filling up your car and they're there. You're like, fuck. You know
That's
what I mean?
tough. That's.
I want to be like you and me. Let's start a food truck together. Or
Yeah.
just I want to destroy my life so that I don't know. I have weird loyalty with my high school.
I get that.
I mean, you guys have that because you guys are here.
No, you'd be surprised by how many people's plan B is food trucks.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I
That's true
definitely
as well.
have that. I feel sad with friends when I'm like, oh, hope you're doing all right there, buddy. I definitely have that.
Yeah, but like the scariest part is there's a little piece in you that goes like, I could be there too.
You
Oh,
know the
yeah.
weird thing? Some of those dudes are doing
course.
better than the best. Like I don't know I know comedians who are like some of the best comedians in Australia, and they hate their lives. Truly,
Akmal.
they hate their lives. Well, I'm not going to say names, but they don't enjoy their.
Dude, come on.
And I know friends in Geelong who are like, they're on paper, life's on fire. Internally, they're gods. They're gods. They're
Yeah,
going to Lambie's
It's
every
true.
Sunday.
It's Akmal, isn't it?
It's all an internal perception.
But you know what? I think comedians are particularly sad bunch of people. I think they are.
Geordie's is happy. Well, every time I met Geordie's, he's a
Yeah,
happy
I'm a
dude.
barrel of land.
Geordie's is happy. Now there's a good joke.
Do you have this? So Jordan, like when the camera switches on,
Yeah.
he's in
You
the
seem
zone.
very- you
he
seem
could be
good.
awake for like 4 nights. He hasn't slept, but once the camera's on, he's switched on, and he's like, happy-go-lucky man.
He's a performer.
And once the camera's off, he might be someone completely different.
Well, that's why he's so good at what he does, right? Like, I guess if you were on all the time,
For sure.
you wouldn't be on when you're on the mic. But that's true, I guess. Whenever
Right,
I see,
I was just about to say the opposite with you, but I was about to say, I've always noticed that you are exactly the same when you're off and on.
yeah, that's true. Even at like gigs, stand-up gigs, I was always like that. Off stage, I'm similar to how I am on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but true. Whenever we're off mic, you're more lower energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why the fuck that is.
Do you have brothers? You don't have brothers and sisters?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Imaginary ones,
What?
yes.
Yeah. I had that.
Do you reckon
I had
if
a
you have
tree
brothers or
house, I had
sisters,
a
you're kind of always
cricket shed
on
in it.
in the house?
What?
True.
You're always on with your brothers and sisters. Like I'm like one of 4 kids, so like you're always on. Like there's always a kid going, do you want to play cricket or do you want to, what the fuck do you think of this?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of 9/11? Like there's just always things that you need to respond to. So you're never off. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
You're always like you're almost doing a podcast for your whole childhood.
Yeah, and you're always feeling scared.
Yeah.
Anything can happen at any
Yeah.
given point. They could just beat you up for no reason. It's part of having brothers.
Can't imagine having to share attention with 3 other kids.
Oh,
Man.
dude, it's struggle. It's a struggle.
I remember one time, first moving to Geelong, I was in a bunk bed. I was on the bottom one. My other brother was on the top bunk, and my other brother was next to us. We weren't like fucking impoverished. It was fine. We were in like Australia. But like my brother at the time was like, he was in the drug scene of Geelong. I don't think he'll care me saying this. And
We are alive.
they were alive.
He was in the drug
He's
scene
not
in Geelong,
anymore.
I don't
He's
think
not anymore. But
He's not
Now he
watching.
lives in Turkey.
But the difference in the like what the bunk beds' lives were, like I was still watching like Roller Coaster, and he was like meeting people who would appear on Underbelly. Like you know what I mean?
How old was he?
Wait, how
He was like a year and a half younger than me.
Wait. So
What, at
your
14,
younger
he was meeting with like the Alameddines.
Yeah, he was like involved.
Wow.
He won't. I don't think. Yeah, he's.
Man, how was he involved? Why would they be using a 14-year-old?
Well, I mean,
Travel
because
soldier.
they're the if you have. I mean, I don't know if you guys go to a party or you go somewhere and you're getting drugs, there's always the little mules who are like underage. All the carjackings in Melbourne right now, they're underage, so they go to places like Toorak. The cops can't touch them because they're underage.
Good system.
Damn.
Oh, dude, good.
Yeah.
Good little
He's
lackey.
Bart
to have.
Simpson in the Mafia episode.
My housemates,
Totally, yeah.
my housemates' parents got their car stolen. They lived in Baldwin, which is like in East Melbourne, and it was 14-year-olds. But the 14-year-olds weren't the ones who've gone on their own volition. It was like older fucking people, mafiosos, who said, "All right, you're underage. Go and get these keys. Bring the car back to us."
Shit.
Pretty genius.
Yeah, it makes sense. And
makes sense.
it does. I mean, like, these kids, the cops, like, the biggest thing is cops are going to be like thinking,
It does.
dude, if you're an adult and you're in the drug world, they
Yeah.
do not care about you. They'll hunt you down. They'll
Yeah.
fucking jump on you. But if it's a kid, yeah, it's going to be
If you're like 13, 14, you're kind of a little bit above the law. A little bit.
You are.
I know.
To go to
I'd throw the
juvie
book
is
at him.
really hard.
Huh?
To go to juvie is really hard.
Isn't it?
You'd have to.
I've always been shocked at that.
Yeah, really
now-
hard.
and now-
And then
the
there's also
internet.
this in-between halfway house of high schools just for naughty boys.
Yeah.
And then you have to fuck that up
Yeah.
to go
Yes.
there.
But
Like, it's like harder to go to Tasmania.
transition from like juvie to adult jail is so rough. You're
Oh,
like a
yeah,
kid who's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
committing crimes and shit.
Totally.
You get a
juvie
PlayStation 5.
It's mad. It's like
Yeah.
summer camp. It's you're just like allowed to play.
Well, Spanion said that. You didn't he say that on your interview with Spanion? He's like, he was in juvie. He's like, this is sick. Juvie's mint. And then you go to prison, you're like, oh god.
And it happens like overnight. So one day you're just having the time of your life telling all else to fuck off, and the next thing you're in solitary confinement with like a little straight jacket around you. It's
Just
it's
chop
rough.
off.
Yeah.
Just chop away from him. Like, g'day, mate. Been waiting for you, champion. All right, it's time to die. Come on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be wild. It's like coming from primary school to high school. Like you're a year 6.
Yeah, totally.
On the back of the bus. And now you're in a year 7 at Barwon prison.
Did you hang out with crims then?
I mean, there was just at my school just had there was some real bad dudes.
What was your school
Yeah.
called? Like
I don't know,
Geelong Public?
It was the biggest public school in Geelong.
What a lazy name.
Is that what it was?
Even
Now
if it's
you know where
the
the-
public school.
Now you know where the creativity comes from.
Yeah, it kind of was.
here.
It was just I'm not gonna say the name of the school because there's still teachers there who I know and
Boo,
respect.
boo.
But it was the biggest public school in Geelong. And it's just like
Was Geelong public?
well, also though, when you think if you have 2,000 people from the public, 5% of those people are going to be fucking psychopaths.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean?
And
Yes,
if you're in
they are.
Geelong, 15%. Let's be real.
But that's the best thing about public schools. We had people who got 99 ATARs, but then we also had drug dealers. So the parties were sick.
It's the same with our school. It was the same with our school.
Yeah.
We went to a fucking performing arts school. There was a 5% degeneracy.
Yeah, but in the same way that gangs are presented in West Side Story, like they knew how to do ballet and shit. Like they weren't
Not-
really
Your
hardcore.
guys' school wasn't a real place.
What about the
Newtown-
area
they
kids?
went
It's not a real.
Newtown
Like, yeah, they,
area.
Yeah, I know,
they were
I know, yeah.
tough in comparison to a bunch of homosexual dancers. Yes, yeah, they were. They were really hardcore
really
for that.
bringing me down.
That's the
here.
best place to be tough.
Ruining
I
my
would be
street
tough in that
cred.
environment.
Yeah,
And I look like the mouse and flushed away. Like I wouldn't be tough.
If you're weak in that environment, oh my God.
I was weak in this environment though because my brother looks terrifying. I was fine.
Yeah, because everyone
So
was
you got
scared of
the
your
whole
brother.
like,
Yeah.
this is Fergus, he's mad, don't touch
Yeah,
me.
kind of,
that,
yeah.
you got that. Yeah.
you
So
take
you knew
advantage
them
of it?
though.
No.
Are they a different breed of person? I honestly always think I don't think that phrenology is a hoax science. I reckon that you could put a crim there and be like, yeah, there's a bump there. Yeah, all right.
It's
Carjacker.
interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know.
But does it feel like that when you know them? When you meet crims, they're a different
Yeah.
type of person, right?
You know the thing that always is people's like, oh, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. But I've had this scenario myself and also other people. It's like the parents are the exact same. One kid is like deducts the score and another kid is like doing the worst things possible. I'm like, why did that happen? You know what I mean? That
Yes.
freaks me out.
Yes.
You're
I
grew
know
up
what
in the
you're talking
exact
about.
same environment.
I think we should kill
exact
the
same
gypsies
school.
too. I think isn't that where we're getting at?
No, we're not going to killing anybody.
Oh shit!
But
But you know, gypsies would be a good start. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I don't
maybe.
even really know. Is that who are gypsies? Are they people who hang out and
I don't know. I don't know. I
think they're
My
Irish.
entire knowledge of them comes
No,
from
they're,
Stephen
you know
King.
what they're
They're
actually
Irish.
from? Do you know where gypsies are actually from?
Romania.
You won't believe this.
Romania?
They're from Pakistan.
Really?
No, that's a
didn't-
lie. That's
It
something.
didn't exist at the time.
You can't
it was
claim
called,
You
they
can't
moved-
claim that.
No, they can't.
You just have
Yes, I
people
know.
living in vans.
They can't be from Pakistan.
They are, bro. Let me
I've
finish.
seen them. They've just got strange shaped heads.
Why
and they
do
live
you
in the
lie?
island.
First of all, there's two types of gypsies. There's one Irish traveler gypsies.
That's the-
who I'm not talking about. Then there's
right.
Roma gypsies, who are
Yes.
the OG gypsies.
Yeah.
They migrated from current day Pakistan and India, like thousands of years ago.
Is this in that China book you're reading as well, is it?
No, this isn't that. But they've done
Okay, fair
testing.
enough. I
Like
mean,
Tyson
look,
Fury, the boxer, he was a gypsy.
Oh,
He
really?
grew up in an actual traveling community.
I think he might be Irish traveler gypsies.
Yeah, well, gypsies do boxing, bare knuckle
yeah,
boxing.
like in
Yeah,
Snatch.
those-
It's so sick. Have you seen that?
What? It's true.
Yeah, kind of.
It is true, yes. That did happen in Snatch.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes. Wait, what happened?
They do bare knuckle boxing in the
Yeah.
gypsy communities.
Yeah.
And so Tyson,
Isn't that better?
I don't know, maybe.
It actually is better. It's
But if
better for your
someone-
brain.
if-
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
If Spaniard was like, "I'll either bash you with gloves or bare knuckles," I would say gloves.
Would you?
Yeah, somebody be like, "Please give me gloves."
Yeah, but you'd be like gloves, just go for the stomach.
It's short-term
Puts on
gain for
knuckle dusters.
long-term pain.
Yeah, it'd be like long-term CTE.
No, it
Yeah,
depends.
exactly,
If,
right? You're going to have dementia.
If Spaniard,
I'd take that.
if Spaniard was like, I've got 5 punches, then yeah, go the gloves. But if it's like,
Yeah.
I've got 3 rounds, be like, take them off.
Take them
You have
Can we
to.
set up a spec? Can we train Geordies up and set up the greatest
Let's please not do that.
YouTuber
Yes.
boxing match?
Yes, let's do that.
I've been saying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I once suggested, I was like, look, we'll make a lot of money. Let's get Isaac to be
True.
on it.
He'll
He was like-
pummel you.
like-
Me versus Isaac,
pummel
a Hagrid, essentially, just a fucking 7'8" man.
Dude, you could be.
This is the sort of thing that's so bullshit about YouTube boxing. Have you ever noticed this? That they just pair up a gamer with somebody that, I don't know, like spearfishes for a living or something.
Yeah.
And they're completely different builds. There's no such thing as featherweight, or they don't even try. They just chuck them in the ring. Hey, there you go.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, we need to start
Dude,
YouTube boxing in Australia.
I don't have
And
too
Jordan
much.
is the man to begin.
I don't have too much faith, Jordan, holding it down in the ring. I'm sorry, Jordan.
6 months later, let's get ready to rumble.
I don't. It'll be the
You know,
Simpsons
it's
episode.
so sad because I always think that YouTube boxing is the YouTube equivalent of Dancing with the Stars. It's
is.
really, that's what you do when
No,
you're down and
well,
out.
YouTube boxing just gives you way more money than Dancing with the Stars ever could.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
You
sure.
make like millions.
That
But the
could
whole
be.
thing is, there's no stars on Dancing with the Stars. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. It's like
The
the
last
Masked
star was Pauline Hanson.
yeah.
Singer. No, Sam Destiano.
That's actually a great series.
Huh?
That was it when Pauline was on it. That was. It made me like Pauline.
Yeah, she kicked
When
him.
you
I
see
can't
some,
remember it.
when you see someone dancing, there's something about it where you're like, I don't care about their politics.
Was she majestic?
She was very majestic.
She was good.
No way.
Yeah. As
She's
a young
good
man,
at dancing.
yeah, I blush to admit. I reckon as a adolescent, I think no, don't
Well,
worry.
you had a wank to it. Fuck yeah, go Fergus.
pulled out
you
your-
and me both, brother.
Have you guys been following
Every
her
time I see
court
Ronald
case?
McDonald from now on, I get a bit happy.
Jordan, have you been following her court case?
Huh? She's got another one, is she?
Oh my god, it's the
Yeah,
funniest
seen
one
that.
ever because of
What is it?
so Marian Farouki, the Green senator, sued
Oh
her.
yeah.
Because
For
she
fuck yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, dude, it's awesome because she's like in court and she, they're like, you were racist when you said go back to Pakistan, weren't you? And she was like, no, I was just, it's just a normal thing to
suggestion.
say. And they were like, no, but you've said all of this stuff about Muslim, and she's like, I didn't even know she was Muslim. They're like, no, you knew, you've acknowledged it over here, and she's like, all of what I said was rhetorical.
What do you think is the strategy behind this? What is the Greens' move with someone yelling something in Parliament? Ooh, what a shocking thing that has never happened in Parliament ever, sledging. And
I don't
then
know
the
how
Greens
Parliament
just go
works.
out and sue them.
Yeah, but like it's happening more often. Just today, apparently Bob Carr is going to sue the New Zealand Deputy Prime Minister.
What? For what? For
Because
what?
the Deputy Prime Minister, it's a big issue over there in New Zealand right now. Like they're asking him to step down because he just went on radio and he was talking about AUKUS and he said that I want to use this correctly. I don't think Bob Carr cares, but he said that Bob Carr is a Chinese lackey or a pawn or something to that effect. And Bob Carr took
Wrong
offense to it.
move. Don't call Bob.
Is New Zealand even involved in AUKUS? How do they know that
Well,
that
they're
exists?
wanting to. This new guy, the new government wants to get involved in AUKUS. and the public obviously does not want them, and so they're trying to convince. And then, so someone on a radio station said that in Australia, Bob Carr said this, and he was like, "Well, Bob Carr is, a Chinese lackey or whatever he said."
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so now Bob Carr is pissed off.
It never changes, does it? The only thing that has changed in the last 50 years is the commie has changed from Russian to Chinese. And that's it. But it's the same accusation.
It's the same. History just repeats itself.
Over and over. God, it must be tiring being a boomer.
You know what is tiring? Being like a neocon who gets like motivated by every war. Can you imagine how exhausting it would be? Every 20 years, you're like putting in all of this effort for a new war, where it'd be like Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Yeah, and your argument every time is anyone says anything, you just go, communist. That's it.
And all of these
Works for me.
people, 20 years later, regret it.
Huh?
All of them, 20 years later, regret it. Now, if you ask all of those people that supported the Iraq War, what do you think? They'll say, no, it was the greatest mistake I made.
Even Bush?
Maybe George Bush?
I'm sure he would. Yeah, he went public and acknowledged it was a mistake.
Wow.
Yes. I don't think
Fishing
you find
for
any
likes.
buyers for Iraq War, but like at the time,
Paul Wolfowitz.
yeah. And now they're doing the exact same shit for every other war.
Hot take, they still have weapons of mass destruction. They just
We should
haven't
go
found
back.
it yet.
Yeah.
Haven't found
It's
it.
a big desert.
It's a big desert, don't you know?
I think they used it. Iraq is massively
Oh,
destroyed.
Jesus. Yeah, well, it's all a rich tapestry of, conspiracy theories. No, you're right. It's all very sad. It's all
Well,
very
but
sad.
Fergus,
Yes.
okay, tell me about Bob Catter. What was he like
Yeah.
behind the camera?
I did one podcast with Bob Catter like a few years ago. And then now I've just been in contact with him. When I did the Canberra Comedy Fest, I was meant to meet with him, but then he takes Fridays off.
Holy fuck, the Canberra Comedy Festival. I can't imagine anything sadder. How was that?
That's so
You've done shows in Canberra.
I've done shows in Canberra.
Yeah.
I haven't done the comedy festival.
Well,
there.
imagine.
Yeah, that should have been some serious laughs to these public servants.
Imagine 7 of the.
You're allowed to push back on these opinions.
Yeah, I'm pushing
You're
back.
allowed-
Don't you reckon this a bit? Are you ready to chuckle?
But not too loudly because we
Yeah,
don't
it
want to stir
does.
the boat.
Maybe Dan.
No, it does feel like that.
If any
Yeah.
closes at 9.
It does feel like that. It's all public servants who come to the shows. You're at ANU in a room.
Are you ready to shut
Yeah, I was in a room where I'm like, who works in the? Yeah, they all put up their hands.
The flip side comedian's dilemma: too much crowd work.
Yeah. A guy in the front row, and people at the Canberra show remember this, said that he worked in nuclear arms. And we're like, we didn't know Australia had nuclear arms. And then he just shut the fuck up.
No way.
So my conspiracy is that Australia has nuclear arms, and this guy
Hell
has
yeah.
revealed it at the fucking
Hey,
Canberra Comedy Festival.
maybe we have Iran's nuclear arms.
I reckon we've got something out there.
Fuck.
I reckon.
I reckon we 100%, we're safeguarding America's
For
nukes.
sure. There has to be something here.
Yeah, because like this entire region, America's designated us as like, the policeman.
Yeah.
They're going to give us nukes because
Pine Gap, you reckon?
maybe, but I would, where is Pine Gap exactly?
No, it wouldn't be that. It'd be the one in West Australia, I reckon.
It needs to be somewhere around like Northern Territory or West
Yeah,
Australia.
the north of Western Australia. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
there's another secret base there, and that's where they test out a bunch of military hardware.
What was the go?
That's
You know how Clive Palmer, when he was running his scare campaigns, it was like, in northern Western Australia, there's an airport
Yeah, the
where
Chinese are building
land.
a airstrip.
And it was like they
somewhere
land.
in WA.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah.
Or it just
It
went away.
was.
Yeah, but that's like him saying,
Sorry,
in
sorry.
Zetland, somewhere, a Chinese development company is building an apartment. It was, do you
It's a
remember
bit
that?
more
It was
nefarious
Huh?
than an apartment.
Huh?
It's a bit more nefarious than an apartment.
A
is that
fucking landing strip
one? Yeah.
in the desert.
Yeah.
What, so you're seriously sitting there thinking, wow, think of all the bombers they could land on that landing strip that they own, and we couldn't do anything about it
I'm
if
just,
they put...
no. I'm just thinking, who's landing there? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but that's true, John.
We know who's landing there.
Who?
The Chinese are landing
Well,
there.
But just because they have
there
a
you go.
runway doesn't mean that they can land there unobstructed. Like, we would shoot them out of the sky.
Right,
if they
right.
We would
land-
fire our one nuke.
But isn't that weird for countries to build their own private landing strips on other countries?
It's suspicious.
It used to be.
It's not anymore?
Not at all anymore. I mean, America builds infrastructure here all the time. Canada builds
No, it's
infrastructure.
suspicious if it's not American.
Yeah, that's the way to look
But
at
do
it.
other countries forget about those? Like, is it happening everywhere?
all across the fucking planet.
Yeah,
Really?
dude, the entire world. If you just Google
America has
US,
like, how is this
What about
not
Russia?
scary?
Is
If
Russia
you wanted to
building?
start a fair, it's just like in Australia there is currently the world's largest spy base and a place where they
Yeah.
came up with B-52 bombers in it, and then they're
Yeah.
talking about something that was just basically so Gina Reinhardt could land there, meet a businessman, and then just be like, see all of this. This is my land. They're like, okay, yeah, cool. That's all that would have happened. That's all that would have happened to that place. I can guarantee.
Really?
Yeah. It's not military infrastructure.
Right.
It was incredible how much
open-ended.
airtime it got.
We'll call it open-ended.
The port's
question.
got a lot of airtime where they're like, China owns this port.
Yeah.
I remember that being big. Do
Yeah.
they still own that?
there's-
yes,
they have
yes.
a lease,
Okay.
a 99-year lease, if that. makes
Right,
sense.
right.
So I think they still have the lease, but they're only allowed to legally do commercial activities there.
And I'm sure they'll
You
follow
can't.
that.
But look, I don't necessarily agree with this theory, but
Yeah.
the detractors say that what China does is they'll buy they'll build a port and then they'll try to bankrupt your country, and when you can't afford to pay them back, they'll say, well, we'll just keep this port for whatever use we want, and then supposedly build military capabilities over there. That's what Andrew Bolt would say if you asked
Dang.
him.
Right.
But that's what America does.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
where he's getting it from. He's just like,
That is what
oh,
America
I've seen
does.
this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of China. It doesn't track. Like
That's pretty amazing to hear.
I don't think.
Because
Like-
you should be. No, but it is remarkable to hear. It's so weird. It's like I think that the constant drumming, it loses its effect after a while.
Yeah, they have to do something. If you're listening, China, send something. Send a missile.
Don't
Yeah,
take
do
COVID
the
again,
balloon,
please.
something like
Hit
that.
Townsville.
Anything
the-
other than COVID.
Yeah. Bring back another germ warfare.
Yeah.
Just go with bird flu was all right. Let's stick to that.
But yeah, sorry, you met Bob Catter.
Yes. Have you met Bob Catter?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Met Bob Catter, and then I was at the Canberra Comedy Festival. It was another triumph.
Fuck, what a whirlwind weekend.
I'm proud of your achievement.
Thanks,
Fergus.
miss. And then so his media manager wanted to do a video on TikTok where, because Bob Catter's pushing this legislation against the supermarkets, Woolies and Coles, and he's like, let's do a collaboration video where we do his crocodile speech, but we comedically insert the supermarket duopoly. So it'd be like, mate, 1,000 blossoms bloom. I ain't spend any time on it because each week, something, the supermarket duopoly. That was their idea. And I was like, fuck, maybe, you know. It doesn't seem as, it's rough when like staffers are writing comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's tough.
Is it true? Because I don't know the history of it. Did Bob Catter, like his political career, start off with just him saying that stop crocodiles from eating people? Is that a thing?
Well, he went viral for that.
Dude, he's been around
No,
since
no,
like
no.
the 70s.
He's our longest serving politician in Australia right now is Bob Catter.
Hell yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think don't reveal that.
His dad ended segregation in Cloncurry between Indigenous Australians and white
way.
Australians and the pubs and the cinemas.
Shit.
Yeah, he's done a lot
I
of.
talk about nepotism, Jesus, and he's like half.
His dad is a
son.
politician. Yeah,
Hey, you leave. What's his first name?
Robbie.
I don't know,
His son
Angus?
is- yeah, Robbie. I
You
think.
leave Robbie out of this. I want to see
His
that.
name's Robbie, and his dad's name's Bob, which means his name is Robbie.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's modern Australia.
Listen,
though. It's
I like seeing that guy's giant fucking cowboy hat in his electorate in where's that Townsville when we went. So you keep it. Damn.
Yeah, member for Kennedy. Member for Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
People get
His
angry.
eyes really far apart or whatever.
Yeah.
With that French bulldog stare.
Regional Australia. Fucking sick.
But it is wild because I noticed like on videos that I do with Bob Catter, like that one you saw Bob Catter, so many people like Greens aligned or Greens voters like fuck Bob Catter. He said, but then if you look at his politics and his policy, a lot of it is very, very like progressive and like constructive. But it's just the shit he says in real life can sometimes get him into like he identifies as Indigenous on Q&A. Like that's a problem.
'Cause he's
Like
not.
well they'll just be talking to me, be like, "Well, I'm going to identify as Indigenous," and everyone's like, "Oh, fuck."
Oh, yeah, like-
kind of sick though. Kind of sick to be like,
To just chuck, yeah.
yeah, to just be like, "Hello, world, this is me."
Yeah, with like zero melanin, just
Yeah, and
willy nilly.
and because everyone in the ABC is so scared, they don't question it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because Bob's so fucking crazy, he can get away with stuff that like people on the left will like they'll be like, okay, what if he is Indigenous? Then we're cancelled. So they just let him be Indigenous.
They're like,
Wait, so what were your text messages like? What's your relationship post?
He calls me on the phone. On my Instagram stories, I post missed phone calls from Bob Catter.
wow.
We were like having conversations, and then something's happened. I'm sure I've spoken about him on something, on a podcast or on a fucking TikTok or something, and now they've got cold feet. And this probably won't help, making fun of his son.
Fuck, you just made enemies
Shit,
with everyone, aren't you?
we like you. We
Nah,
like
just
you.
And we have
Cory and Bob.
absolutely helped.
Hey, Bob, you should know this. This podcast has been supporting you for like 7 years now. I think.
Really?
Have we?
Yeah, we've been,
Or
like-
we've been paying him out for 7 years.
I mean, we do a bit of both.
Run the tapes.
No, we've always
We've done a bit of both.
We've definitely been supporters of a lot of
Yeah,
this
100%.
stuff.
We've been encouraging Labour.
I love Bob Catter and
We're-
Cory Worthington, for the record, I
we're
want to
like
say.
we're like you, Bob. We like to have a laugh. PC culture's gone too far, and we like to have a laugh like you. I think you would agree that PC culture's gone too far, and I think you would agree with us on that. That's what. So I think
Yeah,
he'll be fine with that.
Yeah, but I've got like something that he definitely wouldn't. It's like PC culture has gone too far, but also the sugarcane industry's gone too far.
Well, that's
he would absolutely.
Well, that's what I always told Jordan because like I was like Bob Catter seems really cool, and Jordan was like his policies are pretty good, progressive, with the caveat of like except that the environment is pretty bad. Or that's
Sure.
Jordan's call, and I was like, fair dibs. I'm not a sugarcane expert, but like, so
guy
I'm
should-
Getting his masters, however, in horticulture of agriculture in far north Queensland.
that's true, but they're not
But
completely.
they haven't got
related.
to the sugarcane
Yeah,
part yet, which is
exactly.
very surprising, seeing as that's pretty much our only export.
Well, that's what happens when you don't support TAFE.
I don't know about all of this crocodile culling. Have you heard of this? This is
What?
a new policy. They're going
Yeah.
to cull like 1,300 crocodiles every year in
Really?
like around
Fine,
Darwin
so
Wharf.
Bob
Thanks,
Catter
Bob.
won.
No, but it is like a problem.
What is you don't
Is
know?
it a problem?
I think it's like 4 Australians a year get torn to shreds.
Oh,
by
that's not that
crocodiles.
bad.
It's not bad. 4's not that
I don't
bad.
even know if it's a year. I think it's like they're
A
saying
day.
in like 3 years.
No, I don't
4
think so.
over 3 years.
Yeah, I remember reading. Maybe it is a year.
But if we were
still,
living in
it's normal.
Townsville and like 4 of our friends were getting eaten, we would be like, this is an issue. For
That's
sure.
true.
If we were in Townsville, we
Yeah.
would not care at all.
You don't reckon?
I could guarantee you. We used to know a guy. We used to know a guy from Darwin.
Did we?
Yeah. I'm not going to say his name
Okay.
because he's
Oh,
like
I know who you
Fergus's brother's friends, right? And he used to say, "Cuz, every wet season we'd go we'd go down into the sewage system, and we'd take our boogie boards there, and we got
Holy
to
shit.
surf in
In
the
the
sewage
system.
systems."
So sick.
And I said, "Was that awesome?" And then he said, "Yeah, 2 of my friends died, but it was mad." And then so the logic in his one of his friends died in the fucking sewage system, and they went and did it again.
I love it.
And then another one died.
I love
And
it.
they still kept
I
going,
love
dude.
it. I love it.
They don't care. I
love
they
it.
really don't care.
That's fun, though.
Have
That's
you
fun.
have you been to Townsville?
Townsville.
Have you been to Townsville?
Never.
Okay.
You have.
Yeah,
You've done shows there.
many
Dude,
times
there's
I've
like
been to Townsville.
there's a
You do shows
bridge.
everywhere. You're. I mean,
No,
you
he
got such
doesn't.
a huge audience.
Okay, I do it in the way that like a truck driver around Australia has been everywhere. I do it exclusively within this country, which is you may as well do. Look, Townsville, what is it? Hot Geelong. What's Geelong? Cold Townsville. It's the same shit.
He doesn't do fucking Cairns or what's the other one called? Darwin. He doesn't go there.
Yeah, I'm not going to go
true.
to Darwin. I'm not going to lose money just to get bottled. Like I'm not going to.
Pathetic.
Wimp. Yeah, fair enough.
You haven't been to the Canberra Comedy Festival.
Yeah, you haven't done
Next
that.
year.
You haven't done shit.
Let's get all the
Canberra
Who
public-
was
Comedy
at the
Festival.
Canberra Comedy
the-
Festival? Who was the big cast?
Jim
So
Owen. Tell me
Jamal was
Jim
there.
Owen.
You saw
Yeah,
Jamal.
no
there.
way.
Yeah, Jamal was there.
Why is he still doing festivals?
Jamal.
Yo, Jim Owen. That other Irish guy. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know who the fuck I am myself.
Do you know anything about him? Why the fuck is an Irish backpacker one of the most famous people in Australia? What?
Jim Owen.
Yeah, why is he here? Like, what-
Jamoan still crushes. I did the late night show with Jamoan. I'm like, this guy hasn't lost anything. Like
The
he's
late night
destroying.
show?
There was a late night show in Canberra,
Oh,
Comedy
sick,
Fest,
sick.
where all the public servants stay up till midnight and they do a midnight show. And Jamoan was on it. He's just crushing.
What
he
about
would crush in front of an
he
audience of
crushes.
public service.
Yeah,
What a
older,
love.
like 40-year-old.
Who is that guy? The other guy that talks like this and he's got long hair and I think he's Irish as well.
Oh, Ed Byrne.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
what's he about?
He's crushing as well. There's just like these guys from the
There's
UK.
three Irish guys that, for whatever reason, in the 90s, everyone
Yes.
decided, nah, we don't need to foster any Australian talent. They've got it covered. And that was it.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like, why are they here? I don't get it.
At Canberra Comedy Fest, I was youngest by like 20 years. And it was kind of fun.
Really?
Yeah. It was
That's
it was
cool.
like those older guys
Yeah.
who were like, if you're on
The golden age.
Good News Week in like
Yes.
2010,
Good News Week.
You were
you're
at Canberra Comedy
minted
Festival.
forever. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're a
But
made
that-
man.
Yeah. You're minted.
I'd love to have a steak with Jim Owen. So many questions like, when did you
Yeah.
come here?
He turns it up. He parties hard.
Such
Yeah. At
bulgy
Melbourne
eye-
Comedy Fest,
such
like he was
bulgy
every
eyes.
night I saw him out and about.
Moen.
Yeah, he parties hard.
Dude, look at my Jim Owen impression. Ready?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. But
10 out of
his
10.
but his facial impressions.
Easily impressed.
Because he's actually, he summed up a lot of his acting.
You, sir, get a raise.
No, I love it. I
Jamal
just
can crush with just his face, which I
Yeah.
can't do.
I just
He can do it with no words. He can crush. That's underappreciated.
Are you jealous of those comedians that just have like an inherent character? Like, you know, like there's a joke before they walk on. There's a joke already there.
like
Whereas,
in their
Which is
appearance?
their face.
it might be their accent. Maybe it's like if it's
Body
a walk
language.
comic, it's like, you know, the way they speak. It
Yeah.
might be- or someone that does like faces heaps. They just have like these additional skills. You have to write a joke every time.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You're similar. You're like you get laughs from your writing of jokes, right? Like, do you do physical bits or not really?
No, I think that it's. I get a combination of laughs from writing and the fact that I'm a performer. I can perform, but I am so jealous of people that are, as he's saying,
Yeah, like,
they are the joke.
Yeah,
That's
they
all
are
they
the
have to
joke.
do.
Like
They
Dave
can get on and
Chappelle's
talk.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's best stand up. Imagine what those jokes without the accent. I think it'll have less of an impact.
Less, it wouldn't be a joke.
Yeah, because his on
But no, he is not one of these people that can walk on it. Chris Tucker is that. Dave
Well, there's a
Chappelle
lot of people
performs.
like that, yeah.
He's,
Like
he's
Rodney
a very
Williams.
strong performer, and that's it.
like
That's all he's
Rodney
got.
Rude didn't actually speak like that in normal, you know. But that was his character, and I think that's half of the joke there. Any joke that you do is going to be at least 20-30% better because of the way you're doing it.
Not even 20 or 30%. Honestly,
100%.
the older you get, the more you keep going in and out of, oh, it's an old cliche, but it's absolutely true. It's all in the delivery. You can say things that aren't jokes. A lot of the time, Dave Chappelle says things that it's not a punchline. It is a sentence.
Well, that's new Dave Chappelle when it's just a sermon. I'm talking about like retro Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, but I'm talking about retro Dave Chappelle.
That's a bit
He
harsh,
can get up
mate.
and just say like, that's crazy. And people are like,
Well, maybe it is crazy.
Do you have like
context matters.
Do you have like favorite, like, what are your top Aussie comedians if you had to pick? Or is that silly?
I don't know. Growing up, I always loved Arj Barker. I don't know. Did you guys miss Arj Barker? You got him or not? I don't know. When I was like
No, no,
10
no.
years old,
I
Arj
grew-
Barker
I
was
grew
on
up with
every
him.
single television station.
Yeah, he was massive.
And I just
See,
loved
here's
it.
another one.
Here we go.
Why is he American? I don't get it.
Because he married an Australian lady, so he just stayed here and made $1 million a year.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so
Because I
much
was
sense.
always,
Yeah.
why isn't he doing this in America? Why isn't this working in America, but it works really well in Australia? And it was purely just poor life choices. And so that's why it's
It is weird when you see well, when you see an American comedian in Australia, like, oh, it didn't work in America, so you've come to a smaller market. Sometimes that's what it feels like. But I think
what it feels like.
Yeah, with Arj, I think, and that does
Because
happen.
back in the day, I was always, this guy's doing something else that no one else on planet Earth is doing. And I think that I always thought maybe Americans aren't getting it. Or
Well, what
something.
is that?
I don't know.
What is that thing that he's doing that others aren't doing?
He was parodying a stoner.
Yeah.
And there was comedians that were stoners. I'm not saying that he's not a stoner. I'm sure he is. But he was able to get the character traits of a stoner without saying, hey, look at me, I'm a stoner. And he was able to go down these very strange drug-like tangents where you think, where is this going? And you couldn't remember the beginning of it, and then the end really, like, it was just... It was a psychedelic journey in itself. That was Arj Barker at his peak. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, Arj Barker, I reckon, would be like probably like number one. I mean, he's not Australian, but he kind of is.
That's all right. That's
He
how
kind
it
of
goes.
is,
So-
yeah.
Huh?
Arj Barker kind of is Australian because like he's been here since like 2007.
And he's
Yeah,
also
but
like
his accent isn't.
It's
But he's
yeah.
also like not big anywhere else,
No.
which makes him Australian, I think.
That's interesting.
Okay, all right. I'll let it slide this once.
Yeah.
But what's the
He's
next one?
You know,
Got it. I mean, like all time, like America, Australia, or just Australia.
Just Australia.
Anyway, yeah.
Australia, you can't get past Husey. People are gonna hate it.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
Husey's
people gonna hate it.
100%.
Dude, Husey
'Cause,
is fucking hilarious. We saw Husey.
With Gen Z, Husey's lost. He's lost the youth.
Husey loses it.
People, Gen Z thinks that Husey's. They just think that he's hacky.
No, I like
And because there are
him.
comedians like who are younger who in their shows they make fun of Husey at the shows.
Yeah, but he's so good.
Yeah, but he is good. These youngies, they don't know what good comedy is.
Husey's the most like watertight joke for joke,
Yeah, man.
like formulaic. Holy shit, this is like killing.
Yeah, we saw him at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I couldn't get enough air in my lungs. I was laughing
So
hard.
good, so good.
I think you just have to like him as a person as well for you to enjoy his comedy. Like Husey, because you can't. It's the funniest thing. I saw him outside, and I was with my wife, and I said, I want to go and take a picture with him. So I said, hey, Husey, I'm a big fan. He's like, oh, yeah, man, come on, let's take a picture. And I was like, oh, by the way, I work for Friendly Geordies. We both saw your thing. And he was like, Friendly Geordies? Hey, is he going to write a hit piece on me? Do I need to be afraid?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we love you, Husey. We think you're
You should have been like, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know, Domino's today did that. I wrote a joke about saying, oh, I'm going to do a big expose on Domino's. It was clearly a joke. And I got a message from their team saying, hey, just heard that you're going to do a video on us. We're perfectly happy to answer any questions or clarify anything that you have just before
Dude,
we
it'd
get
be
here."
even funny if you came out being like, they're price gouging. The stuffed pizza hasn't got enough cheese in the crust. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
$5 pizzas. Outrageous.
No,
Dude,
but
Husey looked at me like I had when I told him that I work for Friendly
Getting
Geordies.
pissed off in a cost of living crisis at that.
I was insinuating that the quality of the ingredients is shit.
No, well, you know, I'm never going to make a bad judgment on that.
No,
No,
Geordies
is it better?
does inspire fear in some. I've had some comedians and some media people come to me and be like, I've seen your videos with Geordie. What does he think? Like they're scared of Geordie.
Yeah, they're scared. They're petrified.
Yeah, he sparks
that's true.
fear. He sparks fear in
when you're
people's
making
hearts.
the thumbnail of the person in the video, are you like, is there any like, oh fuck, this poor fuck? Or you just
Sometimes.
like, okay.
Sometimes I release something and I think like, all right, I'm just going to wait for the next 24 hours. And if I don't hear anything about suicide, I'm golden. I always want to get the person right before, like, just looking at the noose being like, it'd be an easy way out, but
It's
I don't
the
want them to
worst when
actually
you-
put it around their neck.
When you've never heard of them before, like they're a Sydney Morning Herald journalist, and you're like, they're introduced to the public through Friendly Geordie.
It's fucking crazy, eh? It is crazy.
Because they probably always wanted fame. But they're just like, not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this. I've always thought about it. It has to be so wild scrolling and seeing yourself in a thumbnail. Like you did that recently one about the guy. I didn't click on it, but the guy, was he Crikey
The
dude?
Crikey dude.
Oh, fuck that old
Wait,
man.
wait, that was recently?
Yeah, it was
Well,
recent.
I've gone through him many times.
Was this
Yeah.
the journal? Was this the guy that was like, he talks like this, that guy that we went, had a crack at, or?
Talks like this?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
he works for a different company.
Oh, Rick Morton.
Him?
There's been many a journalist. But dude, he
So
hates journalists. He has no problems making videos. But like someone like Husey, even apparently Koshi was scared. So I had a
Koshi was scared.
So someone I didn't tell you this. So
You know I was on Sunrise?
Yeah, dude.
When?
I watched all of that shit. I watched all of you on Sunrise.
I was on Sunrise and then Koshi retired the next day.
Really?
I got Koshi laughing. I was kind of killing
It
with
was
Koshi.
good. You did, yeah. It was about the price.
No, it was
the
about
Woolies.
the fucking. No, it wasn't Woolies. It was about the fucking interest rates.
Oh, that's right.
It's happened three times with Sunrise. They're like, "Can you come on and talk about interest rates?" And one time,
why are they asking you?
I was in with Ruben. We're doing. I was opening for Ruben in like Ireland, doing comedy, and they messaged me.
The country.
The country island. And they messaged me. They're like, "Can you talk about climate change and the heat waves happening in Europe?" And I'm like, "I'm in Ireland. It's raining." They're like, "Do you have a green screen?" I was like, "I
my.
can't do this.
That's insane.
There's some things I can't do. I can't be in Ireland with like Ruben holding a green screen and me
Yeah.
being like, it's too damn hot."
Yeah.
How was
I'm
it
in
like-
Spain.
How did you get into the Sunrise?
They just messaged me a
Database.
random DM. I think they probably saw some TikToks or Instagram reels, and they're like, "This
Well, were you
guy
talking
speaks
about, like, climate
politics."
change in it?
No, they just want like a
That's
some
sick.
dude from a Gen Z to talk who talks about politics to come on and it's fucking fun.
yeah,
That's
man.
The camera guy
cool.
comes to your house. You meet him in the car park next door. He doesn't
How
know
old's
who,
the camera guy?
he's
50?
almost like 40. He doesn't know who you are. He's like, who are you? I'm like, just a comedian. And he's
Yeah.
like, and then you get on and like, I had a vape. I had like a Mother Energy drink at like 6 a.m. just to get ready for it.
Shit.
And he's like, who is this dude?
Fuck, what a way to start the day.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that incredible?
Dude, that is the
What a
national
fucking
breakfast at
bizarre
this
But then you go on so hot.
And then
don't
it's
know
just like you and like the guy on Comsec or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
No, I got split
strange.
screen. They surprised me. They brought on a guy. Do you see that for the rentals something? I'm
I
sure
did
you
see
made
that.
fun of this guy. And he was getting annoyed at me.
Yes.
Because I was, yeah.
You were having a go at him. It was great. 'cause
I got
he was,
split screen by, some
some
hipster dude.
nerd who was
Yeah.
just like, no, increasing rents is only a good thing. Case closed. And you
I
were
went
just like,
Super
who?
Saiyan.
Some guy.
I think you might have done a video on it, but I went Super Saiyan, and it was a lot of it was Monster Energy drink.
Sick, dude.
Do you?
Doesn't matter what he was talking about.
Yeah, like when the cat,
Fuck off, Geelong's mayor.
Go the cats.
have you ever like had those requests to do, or were you just like you can't? You've made too much fun of mainstream
No,
media.
no way. They've never even thought
Yeah,
of
they're probably
approaching it.
like
Never.
Yeah.
Not once.
Damn. Failure, eh?
The only time they ever ask me for comment is if they're doing a hit piece on me the next day. That's it. That's the only time I've ever got any media contact.
Yeah, I guess some journalists. I mean, because we see each other probably once or twice a year, but because you don't do much stuff with other, I guess, comedians or critics, sometimes journalists will hit me up and be like, "Can you ask Jordan this?" And I'll just leave it.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it. I'll be like, he doesn't even reply to me. Like he's not gonna.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna. You know what I mean? Reply to you through me.
Doesn't reply to anyone. Don't take it personally.
But that is hilarious that Hughesy's gone home at night to the wife and been like, "We've got to liquefy assets." Geordie's making a video.
Yeah, well, that's why he also gave the tickets because he was scared.
That's amazing. Oh,
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I bullied him out of
He-
comp.
I know that you were bullying him. He thought
Yeah.
that when you
Give me those.
we got free tickets as bribery
Yeah.
from him not to like make a video.
Well, the head
It's
writer
so-
of the project, who is a really not great comedian and is like not a good dude. Like he's like yells at. He's made like friends who I have who are female comedians like cry at gigs. It's like the dude's not a good dude. And he's asked me about you. He's like, does Geordie's know about me? I'm like, I don't think so, man. I don't know. But I hope so. I might whisper your name in his ear because this guy is a fucking
oath.
one of the worst dudes ever.
Fair enough.
Have you been on the project?
No. Luke Kitchell was on it on Friday, first time on mainstream media.
Shit.
He's like,
For what?
it did nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, of course it
It
wouldn't.
moved no dials.
Nothing.
Why would it?
I don't know who's watching
TV.
that.
I thought
Well,
it
it
was.
is interesting. Yeah, since
TV
2018,
is honestly
it
like
drops.
being on a very unpopular YouTube channel now.
It's
I
on
know,
Channel
but I
31
can't
in
make
2010.
I've watched so much daytime TV in my life that I can't make that mental switch. I'm afraid to that acknowledgement.
It's hard for me too.
Yeah.
I really find it difficult
Yeah.
to say.
Can't make it.
The fact that I sit there and make videos saying, "Did you see what they said on the project this week?" and there's like 20,000 views. It's like, come on, people, it was on the news. It's incredible.
Well, I'm watching,
No
being
one
like,
cares.
let him speak. Let him speak. It's like, no one's stopping him. Speak.
But you got to admit, have you been paying attention? And the cheap seats, they get views.
Do
They're-
they?
Yeah, they're two shows. They're still getting like 700,000, right?
Because they're also like decent shows.
Whether those shows are
Comparative.
on, yeah, like those
Yeah.
shows, whatever Working Dog does, they get viewers. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But they've been doing that for like 30 years.
But what's your strategy when you go on one of these shows? Like, what are you thinking?
I didn't know what they were going to say. I kind of thought they were going to try and like make me look dumb.
No, but are you trying to stand out? Because I've heard this that back in the day,
I'm asking Miss now because Miss saw it.
in like the mid 2000s or whatever, American comedians talk about that when they had to go on like those regional morning TV shows or
Yeah.
whatever. Their idea was, because no one was going to watch them, to say something so egregious that the news cycle picks it up. And that TV show will never invite you again.
Yeah.
But your news is going to get out there and your tickets are going to get sold.
The thing, the biggest thing I reckon I fucked up was, I think I told Geordie's this story. I can't remember when Married at First Sight messaged me to come on Married at First Sight.
Why did you do that?
And so they organized a meeting with me and 3 of their producers. So my editor, Pat, who's done some stuff for you as well, he's like, why don't we just record this interview? Like, it'd be interesting sociologically to see what they ask. So we recorded it. We put it on YouTube, TikTok, like everything. And it goes viral. And then it all gets taken down to like once.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Like cease and desist.
Really, yeah, like YouTubers, like Channel 9 puts a copyright strike, whatever. Like, these mainstream things still have really strong connections with these social media outlets to be like, this gets taken down.
Ooh.
And the interview I thought was like journalistically interesting because you could tell that these reality television shows were fishing for sociopaths. Like the questions being asked, I think, should be public knowledge.
Shit.
It's like, hey, they're looking for someone who has the predilection to, you know, whatever. I don't, even like they were like, have you ever
Clocked someone.
got in a fight? Have you ever like king hit someone? Like these questions, are you kind of looking for a particular type of dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Have you
of
ever
course.
punched a woman?
Well,
And if you say no,
like, well, like journalistically, I'm like, this is interesting. You know what I mean? Because these Married at First Sight is the highest rating television show in Australia, and the casting agents are screening for sociopaths, and
that is
that affects the
interesting.
culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they want
for
Inevitably.
views. Yeah.
But look, they're trying to create a show with a lot of fucked individuals.
Yes, for
Like,
sure.
You understand where they're coming from.
I was honored that they thought that I could be the man.
Yeah.
But pretty
Yeah,
quickly,
so
I
true.
think, yeah. During the interview, one of them was like, "You're not recording this, are you?" And I'm like, "I just didn't say anything."
Yeah. You're like, what do you mean by recording?
And then, yeah, we got around some of the legal loopholes, but yeah,
Shit, that's
I think
cool you
that
did that.
has kind of, I don't know, Channel 9. I'm like, there's nothing ever's going to happen with the Today Show. You know, Channel 7 is just me, Bruce Lehman,
That's cool though.
and that SAS guy who killed some. That's what it is.
Oh, shit.
Hectic.
I was on the worst
Still a
network.
better panel than Q&A, I tell you that much.
So much more interesting.
Have you
huh?
seen
Well,
the
people
panel
have given up.
nowadays?
Well,
I don't know.
I
They're
mean,
no ones. They're just some random.
well, that's the thing. Channel, like, even like the Bruce Lehman stuff, like people like, what, you're giving a guy who has committed this crime, you're giving him money for sex workers, like for blow. People like, what the, like, even my dad who doesn't really pay attention, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like that got to the average Australian. They're like, why is Channel 7 giving Bruce Lehman money to buy nose beers? Like, why is he getting money for sex workers? Like the average Aussie was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what
It broke through.
you know what breaks through to me? The fact that you're from Gen Z and you give a fuck about Australian television.
I don't. But it is interesting.
But you know so much about it.
well, it's, do I?
Yeah, for a Gen Z kid.
well, he's in the
Like
biz.
basically, like I was just
How old are
expecting
you
you to
again?
come in here.
I'm 26, so I'm on the precipice.
Right. Yeah.
You are on the precipice, but it's still, you know, I thought that you'd come in here and be like, so I was watching Hassan Piker's stream. And
Yeah, I was
like, you
watching
know,
Vines.
No, yeah, I was watching Vines and shit. But like, dude,
Vines
you're
are
in
back.
our world. You're sitting there just being like, yeah, I've met the guys from Cheese TV. It's like,
Oh, how
it was
were-
the happiest day of my life.
You know what? I do have a
You're
fascination
hanging
with...
out with the Canberra Comedy Festival guys. They've just been like, wow, Carl Barron.
Yeah, no, you are right.
We can't
You are right.
Arch back again.
What is the deal with that? That's incredible.
Jim Owen's taking
Because
everyone's
you're talking our
canapes.
language.
But I still grew up with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
But
still grew up
how?
with that. Because
How
like,
is it you and no one else?
There's no, I reckon all, like,
Because
even,
he's 26, not 17.
even like Luke Kidgel doing videos on The Bachelor, like, and he's my age, like everyone around my age,
Right.
still inevitably you get that, you're still seeing mainstream TV. And then my brother and sister who are like 21, they don't know anything about mainstream TV. So I reckon I was like I was on the cusp.
You were the absolute last.
Yes, maybe.
Last of the dying breed. Okay.
I might
all right.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think-
kids nowadays, TikTok, Netflix, Disney. That's all they know.
Disney.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Disney.
Well, because the fucking new Mermaid movie, the new Little Mermaid.
Star Wars and shit.
Do you think TV can come back? Like, what if they just made Channel 10 like, hey, we're just a streaming
Bro.
site now and we give comedians, like, if they gave, we're going to give Friendly Geordies a show, you know, like, why couldn't that come back? They're losing so
because
much money
People
every
want
year.
stuff on demand.
Yeah, make it a streaming thing.
It's gonna be like movies. You know how for films, most films no one goes to watch unless it's like a big superhero spectacle type of a thing. If you create like a spectacle TV show, like kind of Squid Games was
Yes.
on TV, everyone's gonna watch it, but otherwise not.
Well, why couldn't TV be like this where it's like you stream it live, but then you can also watch it back on like a podcast / streaming site?
I
Like,
think
that
it
could be
is like
something.
TV is like that now.
The other
You
thing that
can
it's got
do
going for it is shows with a live studio audience. You can't really do
Yeah,
that on the
that's
internet. You don't have
true.
a budget for it.
That's true.
That's why you have your quiz games. That's
Yeah.
still
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
going.
Quiz
Quiz games, panel shows.
Sitcoms.
That's where you go. Huh?
Sitcoms
No,
have
there's
a
no,
live audience.
there's no.
God,
sitcom.
I wish sitcoms still had a laugh track.
Yeah. Well, some do.
Do they?
Yeah. Don't they? Like,
You do realize Seinfeld isn't still going, right? Like you're just watching old episodes.
All in the Family isn't that new anymore.
but even that terrible, what's it called? The one with the nerds. Oh, there's no laugh track. Is there? No, there is. There's a laugh
Big Bang
track.
Theory.
yeah.
Big Bang Theory's
but
been
that's-
off for years.
It was 20 years ago.
That's got to be a
Yeah.
fake laugh track.
And by the way, you're in my spot. It's okay. It's an in joke that all of Middle America shares, but yes,
It's a great joke. You want
to share the joke?
It's just from
Sheldon's
the show.
line. I was reading a book about the success of Big Bang Theory.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the fuck were you reading that?
I can't. No, you know why? Because it was this weird experiment that they had to do where they realized, hey, let's laugh at a bunch of autists. And then they put that on television as just being autists. And everyone was like, I fucking hate these people. And I was like, why? It's like, because they're autists. They're annoying. And so they had to think of ways to change their personality so it was forgivable and likable. And that was the whole audience just stared blankly. It was an I didn't do it moment. And then Sheldon says, you're in my spot. And the audience just erupts with laughter. And it's like, wow, smash hit. It's the new Seinfeld. This is going to take the world by storm. And it did.
Holy shit. I think we just answered the question there.
incredible?
TV is dead. TV is dead.
Why is it dying? What do you reckon, guys?
But I wondered, like, just to tie that up, I wonder, like, if... but if mainstream TV gets to a point, because you see it drops every year and the revenue's dropping like crazy, they get to a point where they go, we have no other options. We have to give shows to online creators to make a TV show.
I think they will start doing
Yeah,
that.
Like,
but
if
they
they
won't
see
work.
Jordan
They've tried
subs-
doing that before. They've tried to give like YouTubers their own TV shows.
Our
never
Blake We
worked.
Lily Sing. Yeah, they gave the worst YouTuber in human history a show.
Yeah,
That's what they do. Commercial television gives really crap content creators a go.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a success story yet.
I'll tell you who might buck that trend. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan should just rename his show from Uncensored to what YouTuber am I interviewing tonight?
But Piers Morgan is like, and I'm not saying this lightly, a genius.
Do you think so?
Yeah. No,
Can't
he
discount
is a
that.
ratings getter. He knows how
He
to.
knows, dude. He has, he's the goat at this stuff.
Wait till Jordan fights Spanion and then we'll talk about
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking
who's
about.
the real ratings
main
genius.
Yeah. Dude, do you remember the I don't know if you watch free to air TV, but me and this gentleman tend to here and there. And
Yeah.
do you want to tell them about the ad that they're running now? The ad that we saw on free to air? You don't remember?
Can't remember.
Okay, well, they have some campaign now being like the big streaming services are locking you in with their fiddly contracts, and they're probably going to kill you. Did you know that? Ours will always be free and honest. The cunt from like Channel 9 News is the most honest person in the world. Free to air. Fight for your right to party. And it's just like,
Oh, that was a death rattle, wasn't it?
now you remember it.
Trying to mobilize people to feel sorry for commercial television. When
what
have
it
they
is.
ever been in that position
That's
before?
literally what happened. It was insane. It was literally like it was like a
Big streaming.
Yeah, it was like big streaming is going to like take over the airwaves. It's like they're knuckling down on your free to air. It's like this is just so. I was like insane. I'm like, what? Dr.
also-
Dr. Phil's gonna save us, is it? You know, like
What do you mean?
whatever the fuck they play on free to air now, like reruns of Dr. Phil and like Ellen DeGeneres. Like that's what their heel is. It's just like no one is gonna be like, yeah, go, do it, Ellen.
It's my right.
I refuse
But with
to live in a world where I can't watch Ellen DeGeneres for free. I refuse to pay $5 to watch Golden Globe award-winning films.
But if they, Geordies, if they said, like, say Channel 10 came up to you and they said, all right, we're going to, friendly Geordies, exactly what you're doing, but on Channel 10, would you be tempted or would you be like,
I would be tempted for the budget. Because then, honestly, I think that my show would be a lot better if you could put it in like a daily show format and you could do it every day.
That would
I
be
would love to do that,
Yeah.
but I don't think that it would come with no strings attached.
yeah.
It never
that's-
would.
How would you, like a company
they've got
that's formerly owned
advertisers.
by Gina Reinhardt and is currently owned by CBS, no strings attached.
Yeah.
They'd always say no strings attached. They'd always start with that. We want it to be edgy, you know.
Yeah.
And then you just see it next. It'll be like, tonight on the project, Waleed Ali's retiring, the new replacement, Friendly Geordies. That's exactly what would happen.
That'd be kind of sick.
Exactly. Like I can imagine you there just being like, we've got Ryan Gosling here. Ryan, you are just so unanimous in the Fall Guy. How do you do it? I would love to see you do that. I would love to see you do that.
Dude, he tried doing that with
Lot
Richard
of nervous
Dawkins.
glances, looking at the clock, being like, "Fuck, 7 minutes, 7 seconds. I've got to say something witty." And no, I didn't. Yeah, okay, that's the end.
So we were hammering ads. We've
But it
hammered
is
projects.
incredible that the project. I've never seen anything like it. Pure fear. You know,
you
I've
mean?
seen people in
All
concentration
commercial
camps that
television.
look more relaxed.
Oh, you mean like they seem scared when they're on?
They're so terrified. There's no other show like it.
Oh,
I mean,
concentration
Sunrise,
camps.
gosh, he didn't give a fuck.
Well, he's a multi-millionaire, so he's probably like, if I lose this, I just still be a millionaire.
True.
Yeah, but Waleed Ali must be a millionaire at this point. Why is he darting around like he's in the Soviet Union and he's a fucking double agent? What?
Why do you hate Waleed so much? Huh? Why do you and Waleed? Why?
He's such a fuckwit. He's like on so many levels. First off, he's the biggest douche on earth. He thinks he's fucking cool because he plays a guitar, which is so infuriating. Have you seen that? All we need is a little more conversation. And he's playing the guitar
But there's
on the
so
front. It's
many
just like,
worse
wow,
people,
sick.
though.
They're
Don't reckon?
so... Okay.
You get to the fodder, then the
He is
fat,
what's
then
wrong
there's-
with this country. He really is. The reason that he is so bad is this is his entire worldview in a nutshell, which is that I don't really want to take any view on anything ever because I'm just above it. And like, I think that if you are taking a view, then you're just being really ideological, and I think that it's better to just stay out of it. And so he just sits there and, as the kids would say on the news, like on Twitch, he just both sides everything, and does it in a very Malcolm Turnbull-y way, where it's like, Waleed, you've said fucking nothing. And that's why you're here. It's because you can make... Your vocabulary is advanced enough that you can make it seem like you said something. But if you went back and looked at the transcript, it's like, it may as well have just been fucking dead air and then just been like, up next on the project, Big Bird. You know, like that's what should have happened. So
you
it's like
think-
you're paying $2 million for oxygen.
But do you think that's a part?
Just for the record, I'm a fan. I'm just gonna.
He's just saying that to be controversial. He doesn't actually like
I would
Waleed.
say Waleed in the
Man,
wider Australian
childhood
market
hero.
is 50-50.
What?
That's something as well. Like, I mean, Waleed. When did Waleed come on TV? He came on TV 2010.
That's when you found out about him. I was watching Salam Cafe.
Really?
No way.
Yeah, he used to
How
be
do you
on
know
like
about
Muslim.
Salam Cafe?
Because I watched it.
How? In Pakistan?
Salami
No,
Cafe.
I went, like
eh?
they had like YouTube clips of it.
In
They would have like
Pakistan?
the entire episodes. No, well, when I'd moved here.
Wow, I didn't even know that it was on there. Shit.
Yeah, dude, he was a Muslim face on TV, and as a young lad, I looked up to him.
That's something.
No, but
That's That's the most Geelong thing I've ever said, but that is something that to have a brown Muslim dude on TV in 2010, like a lot of Australia would be like, what the fuck?
SBS, who'd have guessed?
Oh, but then Channel 10.
Huh?
But then Channel 10.
Yeah, but then Channel 10.
There are much worse media people than Waleed Ali.
Give me some names. Give me some names.
Sandra
I don't need a
Sully.
longer list of enemies. But I just intuitively, there are.
I don't think there is.
Really?
I really don't.
Come on,
I
you
really
can't think that.
Huh?
You can't really think that.
I think that is one of the worst possible, like the worst type of media is that type of person that is, I'm above it.
You think he's
and
a
I'm-
nuance, bro.
Huh?
He's too like this and then also this.
dude, he's
Yeah, but also here's an entire piece that is like based off like some bullshit think tank piece from the IPA, which is just a completely corporate funded sham think tank institution, which they always just roll off. Oh, and like just getting rid of any. Okay, a really good example of this is the Australian Building and Construction Commission, right? This is a commission that Howard set up and then was re-brought back by the other ragtags and the Liberals after the Labor Party got rid of it. What is its chief goal? It seems its chief goal is to kill construction workers. That's all it achieves, and it's purely there just to stop unions from going in and checking the safety of sites because that like destroys productivity. So it sits there and makes this independent commission that is just filled with a bunch of developers, and then the union goes in and says these harnesses don't have G straps on them, and they'll just be like, I think it's safe. And they just allow them go on. And they fucking kill construction. So every time the Building and Construction Commission is in, construction deaths on site skyrockets, right? This is how the project does it. They're just like, it's the biggest rumble in Canberra this week. And as you can imagine, the pollies are ready to go. And then they just go, and then they just cut to a shot of Michaela Cash going, this is an outrage that they would get rid of this bill. And then it cuts to Labor saying, I think it's a good thing that we got rid of it. And then just cuts it, like without them explaining why. And then they're just like, so why does everyone care about it? It's just one of those classic Labor Liberal divides. That's how they're teaching the public to think constantly. It's just removing anything of remote substance from it to an audience that if you explained it for a second, it's just like, this is not a ideological culture war battle or anything like that. This is an exact example of why the Labor Party is the party of like material outcomes that benefit the public. But they'll never fucking put that on air. And so when I see something like the Murdoch press, I'm always just entertained. And it's like, that's fine. They can have their cheerleaders, especially because they're just so honest about it. But when you go to your Channel 10s and your fucking ABCs, it's so much worse. Anyway, sorry.
But so is that Waleed though? Or is he's a product of that system? Because I'm sure those advertisers like, hey, Waleed, don't step too far this way or too far that way. He's got to present like a, hey, I'm accessible to Middle Australia.
Exactly. But the thing is, he's happy to do it, and he's fucking smart enough to know what the fuck he's doing. You know?
But like, okay, I've been listening to his podcast for a long time, and sometimes I still listen to it. It's called Minefield. Check it out if you want to. And I do kind of agree with Jordan now. Like in the last 3 years, I don't think he has anything to say.
I'm not defending Waleed. I'm just interested in Waleed as a phenomenon because I think people see him as the good guy. But I know from talking to Jordan that Jordan sees him as the bad guy. I'm like, that's interesting.
Well, Jordan doesn't like him because he likes to keep the status quo, and Jordan is all about screwing the status quo around. But he's like a lawyer. And
an academic at Monash Uni.
Yeah, he's an academic. He's like a nerd. He likes to read and all of that stuff, but he doesn't have like strong opinions about stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
He's very blasé with whatever. And Jordan, on the other hand, is a man of like right and wrong. He sees everything in binaries.
Oh shit! Sorry, bro.
Am I wrong about that?
But don't you think that that's like such a bad way to look at the world? A truly bad way. And he has that view all the time. It's so annoying. Every ABC and Waleed Ali, who is just a wannabe ABC host.
Sorry.
There we go.
Got it. Fuck off.
No, you've done it the wrong way, Miss.
Oh, Jesus.
Now twist it around.
Oh, this thing has to twist this.
On the project.
I'm just going to do this.
And that's why it's better.
Yeah, I agree.
Very unprofessional.
We'll wait for the mic to turn on.
Wait for the mic to turn on.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, those of you that are watching or listening, Fergus is performing at the ID Comedy Theatre on Saturday, which will be the 4th.
Yeah, Waleed is opening.
Waleed is opening, and he's not going to say anything because he has nothing to say.
Waleed's stand-up would be like
solo.
that. Yeah. If you do like an observational piece on Sydney, I think he wouldn't come out with guns blazing like Jordan does.
And he's not very
think
funny.
piece.
That's the other problem. He's not funny at all.
But maybe if you don't have a Waleed, then you don't have a Jordan. They're kind of like the yin and yang of Australia cultural landscape.
No. If you don't have an Andrew Bolt, you don't have a Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm purely a product, a reaction to Sky News.
Sky News fall off. You never see Sky News videos anymore.
Dude, I see him all the time.
During the pandemic, it was like that. There was like 1 million views on each YouTube video.
Yeah, but I think part of the reason is after the pandemic, the algorithm hasn't been kind to Sky News.
Okay, yeah.
Because they've got like a few community strikes, and I know this from personal experience that once you get one of those, your algorithm is never the same.
What, you must have strikes or no?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay.
Not the main channel, but this channel might have some strikes.
Podcast
Because of
does.
some guy.
Because of him.
What did you do?
With his Sky News views.
I, may have mentioned a certain vaccine, a certain point.
No, he said
So
that
good.
if you get like
Don't say it
If you say it
again.
again, then another strike.
No,
happens.
it's the thing is passed. Like at
has
the
it?
time, they were like looking at it like
Oh, for
hawks. Now no
fuck's
one cares
sake.
about COVID. But you said something about Bill Gates having like 5G. What was it?
I can't remember. I think I was
Yeah,
joking.
he said like ever since if you get COVID vaccine, you're gonna get like 5G network, and Bill Gates is gonna. He was just on.
I was
about
like
that.
I think I was taking the piss, to be honest. And
Yeah,
that
he was, but YouTube didn't care.
YouTube
Yeah.
was just like, no, yeah, which is like, your bots can't pick up satire. Fix your tech. You suck. I hate you. Fuck you, YouTube. I'm smarter than you, YouTube.
Yeah, but having said that, I still watch Sky News. They're making videos. They're pumping them out.
Well, they're
every hour.
entertaining.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
I got friends who are progressive who watch them because they're like, this is the most entertaining shit ever. They're
It
like,
is.
live from the studio. We're at the Shrine of
The most
Remembrance.
entertaining thing about Sky News is their comment section because they never turn
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter what it is, it could be like
I meant
we're going to be
interstate
discussing
travel.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The comments will stay on,
Yeah.
and the comments are wild. It is just the most fucked individuals of this country
Yeah.
all congregate in the comment section.
And you hang out there. Just
Dude, I
literally.
love it. But
Are you
like,
dropping likes on the comments?
I'm not dropping any
Tell them,
likes,
That's a
Damo.
good point.
but there's been a lot of times when I have wanted to drop likes.
Yeah.
They're so fucked that I can't even tell you even a single one that I remember.
Yeah.
They're exactly what you would think they are.
Well, Jordan, can I ask you a question? So the Friendly Geordies universe, it's back officially because the last 4 months you've been off the grid. Well, I thought you were dead, but you're back.
Thank you. Yep.
I'm sure people will be interested to hear that.
It's more of a statement than a question. What is the question?
Well, so the question is, so wait, can you talk about where you went, or were you just?
No, I can't say that.
Is it that? Can you tell me off mic?
I can tell you certain things off mic.
I'll tell you
It's that
everything.
heavy.
He was at.
He wouldn't even know.
I don't know.
It's that
Trying
crazy.
to out him.
Getting kind of nervous here.
That's true. Sorry. No, I
Keep
forgot
him on
this
his
was live as
toes.
well.
Keep him on his toes.
Sorry, I forgot this was live.
Just so relaxed and laid back this
Yeah.
guy is, where he's like, I know the whole thing. I can tell you.
I know
I
the
forgot
story.
we're live, and I was next to Miss Love, and what I was asking. I forgot we're recording, to be honest.
Yeah, we're
I thought we were just hanging out.
How good is that?
we are over time.
Okay, cool.
Are we?
Yeah.
We've been an hour and a half.
Damn.
Fucking hell, time flies.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me, guys.
in conclusion, that is fucking awesome that you're on Sunrise.
Yeah. And
Sick,
I
it's a
think it was,
highlight.
It was awesome. He was at the Canberra Comedy Festival.
Next pod. If you guys can get Bobcat on this pod, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
That'd be amazing.
Hey, dude, we've got someone that is hitting him up.
Really?
Well, I hope he is.
Yeah, put
There's
the
a
shout
list,
out.
and I think he's on the list.
I'll give you the media manager's phone number.
Yes,
Do that.
please.
If you're listening, Arun, come on the Friendly Geordies podcast.
Yeah,
Nothing can go wrong.
our guy will contact you soon because we'd love to have Bobcat. That'd be a great podcast.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for live. His son, Robert Cadder. That would be
Even
so
better.
much better.
Even better.
Yeah. So why don't you look anything like your dad?
I don't know if you want to know the answer to that question.
Oh my god.
Thank you for joining us. Check out Fergus Neal. There's going to be links at the bottom in the description box if you're watching us on
I'm in
YouTube.
Brisbane, June 1.
He's in Brisbane,
Hell yeah.
1st of June, and if you're watching live right now, he's going to be performing at
Saturday.
ID Comedy
Yep. I
Theater
didn't
this Saturday.
Yeah.
So make sure you get a ticket and have a lovely
Yeah,
Thanks for having
dude.
me, boys.
day, whatever.
Enjoy our beautiful weather.